I never know how to introduce the podcast.
And on today's podcast...
No, that's stupid. I hate when people say that crap. And today we got...
That's
I'll just do that.
why I had an accent.
All right, today we got Chey. Chey. Do you like to be called Chey or Cheyenne?
Really? I like to be called Big Dog.
Oh, hell. Can you move that mic closer to you, please?
That's
like really close. I know it's annoying. You got to put it in your...
To introduce you to our very serious clients. Hello, Jessica. This is Big Dog. She will be...
Well, we were talking about because she was like, every time I introduce her as Chey, she goes, it's Cheyenne.
I think it's because I feel like you guys call me Chey and my close homies call me Chey, but to the rest of the world, it's just been Cheyenne for so long that it's almost like Chey is like personal, like very personal. Right. So it's like you guys are homies, so you guys are family. All my other homies and people close to me can call me Chey, but a stranger, I'm going to look at you and be like, that's not my name. It's Miss Cheyenne.
You get my government name.
That's my you guys can use my government. Chey is held for special people only.
Let's start introducing her as Chey. Oh wait, Cheyenne. Cheyenne's the one, right? Okay, so Chey.
I'm correct. Let's rewind your brain really quick, actually.
Listen, so we can call you Chey.
Yes.
But just normal people need to call you Cheyenne.
Yeah, just Cheyenne.
Miss Cheyenne or
Miss Cheyenne. If you'd like to be super. Hello, this is Miss Cheyenne.
Hell no. So Cheyenne, if you guys don't know Cheyenne, you're effing up because I feel like you're one of the dopest makeup artists. And we work with a lot of makeup artists.
Right.
And we work with a lot of makeup artists that are talented, but their personalities are trash. And so, I mean, we work with dope, like people will do projects where like agencies, they'll fly in people from like New York or whatever. Right. And like these people are like, oh, this is a big, and like, bro, they be nasty. They just be so, I'm like, never again. I would never hire that person ever again if I got to pick. So.
Personality is important.
Yeah.
I feel like personality really sells anything. Like like I would much rather go and spend time hanging out with somebody that's mid and like does their job to like a good extent. Obviously, doing your job is very important, but that has like personality and can make me laugh because boring people really ain't it. I'm so sorry if you're like a boring, bland piece of sheet paper. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Can I just say that's not where I thought it was going?
I didn't either. I was like, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, plain bagel. I don't want it.
But no, you're dope. And I was trying to figure out. I know it's random, so I was after the gym, taking a shower. I was like, Shai's gonna be this podcast. I need to come up with some stuff to talk to her about.
So you think about me in the shower?
I knew
That's what I
heard.
Say that.
Shut the hell.
That's all I heard.
So I was like, how do we first meet her? Do you remember? I know. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
So there's a makeup artist that was supposed to do a shoot for us.
Okay.
And she bailed with some lame excuse. She's like, oh, I might have surgery or cancer or something. It was something really like, okay, this might be serious. Yeah. And then
cancer.
So she blocked. So she legit was like, sorry, I can't make it to this session. We already had a client set up,
right?
And it's for the speechless.
And it was last minute.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, like
she didn't give us notice.
A week or two, that's understandable.
So I don't know why I'm telling her story. Anyways, she effed this up because she blocked my personal account and Heather's personal account. And she was posting stuff of her like at the beach and all this stuff. Oh, but she didn't know. She forgot to block our production account. And I was just on there doing something. And I saw her. I was like, bro, if you were going to go do something, just say, hey, I don't want to do the makeup. Or I'm going to go on vacation. Don't lie to me. Because when you lie to me,
be professional and be like, hey, unfortunately, like something came up, but I'd love to help you find a replacement.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, here's a few recommendations.
That's why, Shy.
And so I was like, you know what? This sucks. So I started going through people that she followed to see, okay, she probably follows other makeup artists she looks up to. And then I found you on her. She was following you.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, let me hit this chick up. And honestly, I started looking at the stuff in your feed. I was like, she looks dope. Like, and the tattoos, I was like, she might be cool. Yeah. She's either going to be real dope or this will be the last time. So yeah, we hit.
I remember, this is going to be the last time.
Yeah, I remember we hit you up. And bro, you showed up after you left, we were talking. We were like, bro, she was cool. And so that's how
It's always genuinely a 50-50 when I meet new people. It's either, oh my God, Cheyenne is so much. She says the most off-the-wall shit. She doesn't shut the fuck up. Or it's like, wow, I really vibe with her. I love her. She's raw. Like, I love that.
Right.
And that's how I know my people from not my people, you
Yeah.
know?
And that's good though. Like you're you 100% no matter what. Because we've had clients, different kinds in here, and you're always shy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is you are you, but you like simultaneously will find a way to like still be you, but also get along with all the clients whom we bring in here.
In the industry that we're in, like you kind of have to be a little bit of a chameleon and know how to vibe with everybody, you know, of all walks of life. Like I was saying, you meet everybody from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high, and you got to know how to keep conversation with each person, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And there's been times where even I was flabbergasted, and you've seen it, where I'm just like,
don't know what to say.
Anyway, you guys like fucking donuts or something? Y'all want to order Uber Eats? That's how you know something is going on in my mind. If I ever say you guys want to order coffee or something, it's because I want to be on my phone looking at anything else and hurry and get done. Like I don't want to have a conversation, so then I can use it as a conversation. Oh, where's my coffee?
Right.
Oh. Like.
I remember thinking like, well, that's random.
I know. That makes so much sense now.
Okay, I like coffee.
We're playing chess, not checkers.
Man.
That is good.
So I have heard a little bit of your story. And I always tell you, like, you need to share this with people. And you're like, I don't know how it can benefit people. But I don't think, hopefully, I know we did that. We had a shoot with someone in here, and you heard how they actually had a very good upbringing and their family. They had a support system, and like they had all their cards stacked to where they can win. Right. And a lot of people say this to where it's like, yeah, I went through a whole bunch of crap, but I still like found my way and made it. Bro, I feel like went through stuff for real. And I don't think a lot of, and you just, that's just who you are. Right. And I think you just think everyone's that way. Everyone's not, no one can do the stuff that you've done. I don't think. There's not a lot of people. And that girl that was in there, I think she was a very like, whoa.
I think that was the first time in a long time, because I'm really not a feel sorry for myself ever kind of person. That's why I genuinely never really speak of like my background, where I came from, because it's more like I don't want the sympathy. Like I'm where I'm at because of what I've done, and I love that for myself. But then I hear stories like what we heard, and like being in the same predicament, having kids young, and where I am having like no family, no support system, being here in Nashville completely alone, taking care of two kids as a single mom, and then hearing like another person's story who also has kids and was my age. I was blown back. I genuinely thought she was very young. In my eyes, I was like, oh, she's got to be 18, 19, like saying, you know, doing her own thing. And then when we were the same age, I was just like, wait, what? Like, you literally had all the cards handed to you. Literally, like, right in front of you. That's just stupidity to me. And, like, I mean, like if you're stupid, you're fucking stupid. I'm fucking sorry, dude. Like, and there's no excuse for stupid. And you can't really help stupid either. So there's that.
Yeah, and you hustle, fam. Like, you are a hustler. You know what I'm saying?
I love the hustle. I know a lot of people are lazy. I love not being fucking lazy. Right. Like, I love genuinely waking up in the morning, getting my day started with the gym. I love going out and getting shit done throughout the day. And it's crazy to me because my normal day starts at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, you know, depending, and ends at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm go. And to me, that's a normal fucking day. Like, that's what everybody, I think, should be doing. And then I'll be texting people, and they're like, oh my God, I could never. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean you can never? Like, that's an adult thing.
Won't.
Like, what do you mean? So it's just an excuse. That's and genuinely, like, I live by that one rule is like, you're gonna make excuses or you're not. Like, life is hard regardless of what you do. It's hard being broke, and it's hard making money, so you just pick your heart and you run with that shit. And like, genuinely, if people listen to that and like
actually
grasped onto it and like took a little bit of that, like, if there's anything anybody gets from this podcast, take that. Life will get better. Like, life's always gonna be fucking hard, so just like,
you get to choose
pick
your
battle. Exactly. Are you gonna like wallow in whatever you got going, or are you just gonna chase what you got going on in your future. Like,
Right.
I'm 25. I'm still young. I got a lot of time, you know?
Yeah.
And
I always, we talk about that. I'm like, I always forget, because I've told you, my sister, you are the same age as my sister.
Yeah.
And you just, you know, you're totally different places. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, my sister is so young and all this. And then I hear, oh, I'm 25. And I'm like, how is she 25?
But see, here's the thing though. Sometimes you be doing 25-year-old stuff.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
like stuff I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She's 25.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
but I want, before you change the subject, it's funny because you were talking about people that like get up and do they're on their grind, and then like, how do you do that? People ask us all the time, like, how do you balance running a business and like your personal and fun and free time? I'm like, bro, running a business is fun for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It is
part of my
fun.
life. Like when you there's no
when
like,
you're not tied down to a 9 to 5, you are so much more free that it
Right.
becomes fun. And when it's your passion, and you guys are
Yes.
so passionate about this, and I love that so much.
Yeah.
Then it's not a job
Right.
anymore. This is a hobby. This is fun. And I mean, the money, that's just the cherry
That's-
on
yeah.
top. You know, like
Yeah.
you guys would do this shit the same way I would do my shit
Yep.
for free if you
Yep.
needed
Right.
to as a hobby. And and you guys just took a hobby like I did my craft and turned it into a career.
Right.
And people get stuck working that 9 to 5 and don't know how to get out of the loop.
Yeah.
Once you're out the loop, you'll never get back
Right.
in
I
that
could-
shit.
I was
I
like-
can
Right.
never.
I was gonna say I could never go back to.
I could
like,
never
working
go
for
back
someone.
in the most humble way. I appreciate like everybody that works a 9 to 5 and everybody, you know, we
Right.
gotta have those people to make the world go round. But not me, boys.
I always say I'm just built different.
I'm just
I don't
built
like,
different,
I
yeah.
can't. I don't like having a boss. Well,
I
technically-
don't like authority.
Yeah, but if you think about it, when you run your own business, you have multiple bosses. Because people
Everywhere.
always
Yeah.
think they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't have a boss. I'm like, no, we
No,
have so
we
many
have
bosses.
so
Right.
many everywhere. We have people above us, just
Right.
like anybody else.
Exactly.
It's just a different level of above us.
Right. Okay, so I don't know how much you want to share, but I really think it'd be beneficial for people to hear what you've gone through as much as you want to share.
Right.
Just so people, I hate people that have excuses. And we
I'm
run
not
into
an
a lot of
excuse
people that are like, oh, well, this and this happened. And I bring up your story a little bit and I say, we have a friend, I never say who it is,
Yeah.
that went through X, Y, and Z, and she's killing it now. And I don't always use you, but you're a big one of those ones. Oh, you know what else? Let me show you this really quick. I know I'm kind of getting off the subject.
No, you're good.
I'm going to show you this goal thing we do. So we do every year. We don't do like resolutions, like a New Year's resolutions, everything, but we go through and we look at our guiding principles and like our value goals and all that stuff.
Right.
And one of the things that we go through every year is we ask ourselves, okay, who in the past year has been someone who is very important to us, and we want to make sure we can keep them like in our lives and like they really change how we do stuff. Look at who's on there.
Hey,
Listen,
number one.
No, listen. So first of all, it wasn't in a certain
I
order.
don't give a fuck. You wrote my name first, bitch. You guys love me.
But yeah, but the thing is, I just want you to know, like, I feel like a lot of times people don't show love until it's too late, and I hate
Yeah.
that. But like,
yeah.
I just want to make sure you know that how much we appreciate you, and it's not because you have come through clutch for us. Sometimes we're like, hey, we got this idea. Can you come in? There's not a big budget for it, or whatever, and you always come through no matter what.
Of course.
And we appreciate that. And it's not just because of that. It's just, you're just a dope person. Because we have a ton of people that we are connected with.
Right.
And there was 7 people on that list. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's including family.
yeah, that's family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But
So yeah. Anyways,
Ooh.
I was like, man, I need to tell her that.
I
before
love that.
forget.
I
So-
appreciate you guys too, though, because I was just telling somebody actually the other day. I was like, you know what? Like, I was talking about having to come and do the podcast and this and that, and how this is my first podcast. And I was like, but I appreciate Eugene and Heather, and I'm big into the gym now, you know, and I've taken that consistently for almost a year now. And I was explaining how, like, if it wasn't for Eugene pointing out little things, he called me fat, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, no, I didn't. No, I did not.
Okay, it's
Probably
over-exaggerated.
in
He
the
said I could
nicest
look
way.
better.
I didn't say that either.
Okay, so what you say?
I can't remember
yeah,
now
exactly.
how I said it. But listen, here's my thing. I know that this is something that I probably should stay away from. And we've had conversations about this on if we should bring it up or not. But you've opened the door, so I'm going to go to the door. I have a hard time with people that are unhealthily overweight. Okay?
Right.
I'm not saying you're unhealthily overweight. But they will say little things like, oh man, I wish this, and this. I've always been like, okay, if that's what you want, do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't because, no, you can. You don't want to do the work to do whatever it was.
Right.
And so
that just goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's just like, because going to the gym is work ethic.
It is.
Because you're
it's
building
a whole other
something.
job, essentially. Like, it really is. But once you start going, like, it's become my therapy.
It's like an anchor.
It's become
yeah.
the one place that I feel safe. If I never feel safe anywhere else, I go to the gym. It's the one place I can clear my mind. But on top of that, I feel better. Like leaving the gym, knowing I'm stronger, I'm healthy, all my toxins are sweated out, my ass is fatter, fattest white girl ass around. You know what I mean?
But bro, it feels good doing the gym. It's especially in the morning because you killed something in the day that most people haven't done.
Yeah, and starting your day, that's with the hardest thing. It's the best feeling. And then the rest of the day is gravy. I mean, you can literally shit on my parade and I'm going to be like, well, my ass is still fat. Bye.
But okay, I remember because we were going through photos and I did say something. I think it's because of you. It's you. Like, we shoot boudoir
Y'all have
stuff.
the type of relationship. It's like siblings, honestly.
I know. I'm like,
it's
this
like
is
the
like my
stuff
brother.
he can say to you that he can get away with, and he means it. And maybe somebody else may hear it in a mean way, but it's like, no, you don't understand.
I think it's because we're both kind of little bits of douchebags deep down, and we cover it up with this like nice sensitivity, like we give a fuck, but like around each other, we're like, hey, yo, big head ass bitch.
But I was looking at the photo.
Then he's like, but look, you're my number one.
Yeah.
No, I remember looking at the photo. I was like, bro, just think about if you act. Because my thing is, I know you, and like when you put your head to something, you're like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Like whatever it takes, I'm going to do. I was like, if you took that whatever that's called,
that little noggin of mine,
put it into the gym and like getting your fitness and health, I was like, you would smash.
Bro, I've been killing it in there.
I love every time I see you post something, and I've tried not to like comment every time because I feel like it's annoying. But I'm like, man, I get excited every time I see it.
Dude, I think it's just become an addiction. Honestly, like I traded in a lot of like these things that were making me sad and just pushed it to the gym, and it really became like a part. It's a lifestyle. It is, and now I get it. It used to be like, I would wake up and be like, oh my God, I really don't want to do this. Like, what the fuck? And now I wake up and I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. Time to go to the gym again. I think the worst part of the gym is like having to wash your sports bras so much.
Yeah.
Let me fucking tell you about that. And like finding an outfit to go to the gym. Like it's not even getting up for me anymore, and I've been doing this for like a year solid. Like I can get up and be fine throughout the day, like not an issue, as long as I get like a couple minutes laying in bed to like wake up, so I'm not like dazed and fucking confused. But I just do my little thing. I have like a cute little routine. I smoke my little stuff on the way to the gym. I like try scoop my pre-workout every morning.
I've never been able to dress
and then I just go into the gym every morning and I fucking kill it, man.
Yeah.
It's the only way that I can stay there. Like I will stay there for 2 hours and just get everything done. But like I feel like if I don't take pre-workout early in the morning, I don't have as much like energy to be lifting fucking 250 pounds.
You're not lifting no 250 pounds.
Okay, it's more like 170.
That's still good though.
That's still pretty good.
That's more than some
good.
dudes. So like I'll see Heather in there lifting, and she's getting to the point where she's lifting more than some guys that are there.
I'm not gonna lie, I lift more than a lot of these men. Like I be looking over, and I really don't pay attention to people in the gym because I don't want people to pay attention to me. So it's more like, you know, if I can't see them, they can't see me kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But when I do look over and stuff and I see men, I don't know why, but I'm just like, why are you only lifting 100 pounds?
But they may be injured.
They could be, yeah.
So I always take that into account too, because there's been times where I was
not
telling
me.
her
I'm
this
kind
morning.
of a fucking dickhead. I wish I wasn't. I'd just be like, it's like a competition in my head. I'm just like, you guys want to. You want to see who can do more reps?
I do make everything competition.
Yeah, I know. I wish I wasn't such a competitive person.
I love it.
I mean, it makes life a lot more fun.
Yeah, even when I drive, bro, I'm racing whatever car. Like
me too, and I don't have a race car, B.
Yeah, me.
I don't, and I'm still like, "What's up, little Nissan Altima?"
You were saying you were telling someone about something. You got a video on the podcast, and
Yeah, and I was just basically like back to the appreciation thing. Like I was basically telling them about you guys and how I got introduced and how this relationship we all formed came. And I was just like, they have motivated me so much because what I was saying, the gym has become my safe space and one of the very, very few places that I feel safe 100%. And if it wasn't for Eugene genuinely saying something, and I know he meant it out of love 100%, I'd just be giving him shit all the time. I don't know that I would have even found the courage to go genuinely. Like I think I would have still wallowed in that little depression, you know, like it was around the time like going through some crazy shit, and that's when I got serious. Like, you know, I had been in and out, and I'd be like, yeah, I went, and only had gone twice that week, and fucking squatting maybe 25 pounds. Rose.
The bar.
When I didn't have calluses on my hands.
But I think it's also cool how we can talk business too. I love how we chop it up about business stuff. But we skipped something. So I want you to share your story though. Like just as a kid growing up, what it was like, if you're down. Because I think it's good for people to hear your story and say that, like, just to see like, bro, you had cards stacked against you and you still are killing it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
you grew up in California, right?
Yeah, I grew up in California. I just always felt like even though the cards were against me, they weren't. I learned something in everything. Even at a young age, I was always just called like the trooper, or like, oh, I thought you were older, or, you know, like I've always been told that my whole life, even at 5 years old type shit. But like, honestly, I didn't grow up with like the best home life. My parents were like drug addicts, and I think like as far back as I can remember, it was just very unstable.
Right.
We were in foster care for a little while there, like while my parents were getting clean, got back from foster care, and shit was still not A1. Like I feel like I didn't have a bad life. I'd like to start there. Like I didn't, because my parents made me feel loved. But now that I'm an adult and I have children, I look back and there's no fucking way in hell I would ever, ever, ever put my kids through any of the shit that my parents allowed us to go through. Between foster care, the drugs, the abuse, the like blatant disrespect of us, the like not taking care of the house, the constant moving, living in shelters and hotels and motels, and, you know, and then like, I think when shit got really rough and like really serious for me was when my dad died when I was 11. And he was a drug and alcohol abuse counselor. So for him to die of an overdose was definitely something crazy. And for me to have like woken up and him just be deceased next to me that night, like it was the one night where I was just like, yeah, let's watch a movie together. Haha. And then you wake up and your parents not breathing anymore. You know, that was so that was probably like when something in my brain switched. I don't know what it was. It was like that, like everything was serious after that. I remember I woke up and nothing was ever the same.
Like childhood ended there.
Yeah, I felt like genuinely it fucked me up for a little bit. I would fuck anybody up, you know? But all I could remember was like, okay, well, this sucks. That's what I told myself at like 11 years old. I was like, well, this sucks. Like, well, maybe he'll come back. Like, maybe it's fine. It's whatever. But after that, my mom, she love her to death, but she didn't know how to be a mom. I don't think she was given the right cards for that either. And like I said, I love her. I think she tried her best. I just think it was a different era where men and women, like women depended on men, you know? So she had constantly depended on my dad and her husband before that, had no idea how to live and had no idea how to live and take care of 4 kids. So right after my dad died, I moved to Tennessee, and that was a culture shock because it wasn't even a month after he died. My mom shipped me out here. I had also never met my sister, and that's who I was coming to live with. I didn't know my cousins or my nieces or nephews.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I had no time to process anything. But I just remember everybody telling me to be strong. So I just remember going to bed crying every night, being like, you just got to be strong. You just got to be strong. You got to do this. So I came out to Tennessee. And that's when shit got kind of weird. I started smoking weed. I started drinking. That's when I was young.
How old are you now?
So at this point I was 13. So I was 11 when my dad died, but I was about to turn 12. And by this point I was kind of settled in a little bit more. I was about to turn 13, but I was already smoking weed heavily, drinking heavily. By what was it? Probably 14. I was doing cocaine every day at school. I would put little bumps of cocaine at the tip of my eraser during school, and not for a way of like, oh my god, she's a junkie ass bitch, but because by 14 I was homeless and my mom was in another state and my sister kicked me out and I had nowhere to sleep. Half the time I was staying in friends' closets, hiding from their parents because they didn't want me to stay any longer, you know, like, and it wasn't their responsibility, it was my mom's, and that was where like the neglect kind of came in. And at the time, like I said, I never thought I thought this was normal for everybody. What I did know at 14, 15, 16 is I had to go to school. I knew I didn't want my mom to get in trouble. It was mainly for my mom. It wasn't even the education.
So it's like you were the parent in the situation.
She was in Oklahoma and I was in Tennessee, and nobody had guardianship of me but her, and I didn't want her to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so I just kept going to school and just pretending like everything was good. I remember there were nights, there was this abandoned house behind a high school that I went to, and there was multiple nights I would go to that abandoned house and like go stay in that abandoned house, and then I'd wake up the next day and just go to school, you know. And then my kid's father's mom, she was there and helped me a lot of the time too, you know, in the in-between times when we were together. I would go and stay with them. But I mean, there was a lot of drama that fucking happened there where it was just like not the absolute best situation for anybody at 14, 15, 16. And I mean, I ended up with kids, obviously, as a teenager, despite everything, like love them to death, love being a parent. But even to this day though, like, I wouldn't want it to be any other way. Like, I went through a lot, and I know I went through a lot, but I think I was built for that. Like, I genuinely think a lot of people would have broken, and don't get me wrong, there were plenty of times where I was in like mental hospitals because I wanted to take my own life. There was multiple times where like I didn't feel good enough or worthy enough, or, you know, and like I think everybody kind of feels like that. But being like 15, going through all that, I don't know, which is probably why I'm 25 now, and I'm just like, I want to go home. I just want like a normal life. Actually, I just want to work full time, go home, take care of my babies, cook food, watch some movies with my people, and call it a day, you know. Like, I don't have the urge to party anymore because I went through that, like all the bullshit I went through growing up. Like, there were good times, but it kind of sucks to say that there were like a majority, I'd say 90-10 bad times to good times. Yeah. And like, I don't even realize that they were even crazy bad or anything like that until I'm explaining it to like normal people with like normal families, and I'm
and
like,
you hear yourself
Jesus
say
Christ.
it too.
Like, people are always talking about how they grew up with their brothers and sisters and love them and this and that. I'm like, damn, it was fucking WWE in my house. We were tasing each other, shooting each other with BB guns.
Oh my goodness.
Like, literally watched my brother cut my other brother's finger off.
Oh my goodness.
One time my brother pushed me into a cactus like garden because I said no to him, and and that was normal to me. I was like, well, we were finna get fucked up. Like, I knew every day it was gonna be something. I was gonna be fucked up every day. So talking to other people that grew up with siblings in like a normal family in a household, I'm just like, wow, like, you are mentally stable. That's crazy. Like, your parents did not fuck you. That's wild. But I'm funny.
What's that?
So, two things. So, did you have any kind of support system while you're going through this? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How did you?
Right after my dad died, I didn't, because I didn't feel like I knew anybody. I got close to my kid's dad when I first came here in 8th grade. It was like the end of 8th grade, and that's when I met him. And his family took me in pretty quickly. Like, they saw the situation. His mom was very open, but I always felt like I was unwanted there also, like 90% of the time, you know. And me and my kid's father were fighting crazy bad. We were physically and mentally abusive toward each other terribly. Like, up until I got pregnant, basically, we would just beat the fuck out of each other. I would get kicked out because his mom didn't want me to, you know, be there. Obviously, I'm hitting her son. He's hitting me. We're not good for each other.
Yeah.
And those were the nights I would go stay like at the abandoned house or like here or there, anywhere, you know, and she would feel bad after a couple weeks and I would come back. But then after so many times of doing that routine, you're like, this person don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. But then you're put in a position where it's like, bro, what else are you to do? Like, and I think that's genuinely, until you felt that, like, you don't know what it feels like to be like 100% unwanted. Like, you have no parents, your friends hate your baby daddy, who at the time he wasn't my baby daddy, but they saw what was going on, so they would never come around ever. I kind of like secluded myself to that person, so all my friends and family just kind of fucked off. They just hated me. They didn't want anything to do with the situation at hand. So really I just had him and his mom. But like I said, his mom was very like wishy-washy, you know. I could tell she cared for sure, and I love her to this day. I think we're closer now to this day than we ever were when I was a teenager. And we genuinely didn't get close until I was pregnant with my daughter. And I think that's just because that was her first grandchild, and she was just like, oh my god, like Cheyenne's gonna be around for a little while. Might as well get used to this shit. And now we be cackling all the time. It's great. But that was the extent of my support system throughout all of that. I remember the day I dropped out of school, actually, it wasn't because I wanted to drop out. Like, one, school was easy to me. If it wasn't for the instability growing up, I think I would have easily finished high school, because I didn't. And it wasn't even because I got pregnant. That wasn't the reason I dropped out. It was genuinely because there was so much instability. My credits were low. Everything was easy, but making it up and finding the time when I needed to go make money to pay bills at 15, I couldn't. And then on top of that, I remember going to school one day, and it was junior year, and there was this girl, and I had told her like, yo, you know, I'm staying with my kid's dad, and I wasn't pregnant at the time, like I said, so it was just like my boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, my mom's like in another state, blah, blah, blah. Well, homegirl went and told the counselor of the school.
Oh man, yeah.
So the next day I come into school, and there's DCS. And they want to talk to me, and they're asking me questions about where my mom is and this, that, and the other. I never went back to school after that. I left school that day. I actually had my homegirl pick me up at lunchtime, and I ran out the gym, and I left school, and I never went back to school again. I remember getting calls all the time, and I stopped talking to everybody. I didn't talk to my mom. I didn't talk to nobody for probably about a year. Everybody got on my ass. But I did get my GED. I did do that. And I had to forge my mom's signature for that. So that was fun. Love that. LOL. Other than that, like I did go and get my medical assisting degree and my phlebotomy degree right before doing hair. So I think once I had kids, that's when everything changed, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was definitely partying days before I found out I was pregnant. Like, I was unhinged. I was depressed. I was so sad. I was angry at the world. I could fight anybody. It wasn't a fun time. It wasn't like a fun Cheyenne. It was just sad. Now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, you was sad.
But you had plenty of reason to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say this too, because my parents, I used to think, man, they kind of sucked a little bit. But when I start learning more about their background, I'm like, they did better than their parents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And some parents, it's almost like it's not a choice. Like, they are choosing to be what they think is what they're supposed to be, and that's not always like what the kids need. So that's interesting.
But it's just interesting, like, because I see you as a parent now. I'm like, bro, you are killing it.
Yeah,
as a parent, you know what I'm saying? And, and you're a single parent too, so that's even, because my mom, because my parents got separated, and my mom, she raised us. There's 6 of us, and bro, she did it though. We were all scared of her. Like, to this day,
we're all scared of her.
She passed away, but like, she would still like be like, I will beat your tail.
Yes.
Like, okay,
I will wake up out
Well,
my grave and beat you.
Yes, we were married, and one of his younger brothers, they're probably like 15, 16, like out in the yard, and I don't know what they did, probably like mouthed off to her. She grabbed a tree branch off the thing and just started like smacking him with it in the yard. And I was just sitting here like,
and he's grown. He's like 15, 16. Yeah.
And she was like small, you know, and so it was just
my mom was
like,
tiny. My mom was tiny, but she's still like, whatever, mom.
Us tiny girls are the craziest. I stick by what I say.
So you go through all this. How do you get from living this I'm not gonna say sucky life because it wasn't sucky because you wouldn't be who you were.
Right.
And
No,
I
it
think
was
that's with
sucky. You
everyone.
could say what it is.
Well,
A
no,
spade
because
is
the
a
thing
spade.
is, if you didn't go through that stuff, you wouldn't be who you were today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I
And
don't
so
hate that I went through it.
Right. And me personally, I know this sounds very selfish and it's not about me, but I'm glad you went through the stuff you went through because you're dope as hell right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, Chey is one of the dopest people you know what I'm saying? And if you wouldn't have done that, like, would you have become a makeup artist? You know what I'm saying?
A
Like,
boring, bland bagel.
Yeah.
But so how'd you get from going through that to decide, you know what, I'm gonna try to do hair and makeup?
So basically, like after I had my daughter,
Mhm.
right? I was 17 when I had her, and I literally remember going to school for medical assisting and phlebotomy, and I was like, I need a job that's respectable. I'm a mom now.
Mhm.
Mind you, I didn't have throat tattoos or hand tattoos, or I was very untattooed. I had like a chest piece that could be covered and a few arm tattoos, some leg tattoos, nothing crazy.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like a respectable mom. I'll go into like the nursing shit like every other normal girl. Like, no offense or anything. But I was like, fuck it, like I'll do this. So I did that. I did get my medical assisting and my phlebotomy degree. I finished everything I needed to. And then I worked in a pediatric office for a little bit.
Wow.
And I fucking despised it.
Oh, no.
Loved the kids, hated the environment. I
Yeah.
hated the toxicity in there. I just got rubbed the wrong way. I was the youngest in the office. I was just like a bitch to these people. They looked at me just like this whack ass young girl that dropped out and had kids, and you know, just that southern mentality that you get from old southern fucks. Like, fuck y'all. For real. I hate that. But after that, I was just like, dude, I don't know what to do. I had no fucking idea. I was just like lost, but I knew I needed to go back to school. I like school. I like learning. So I was just like, well, I like doing makeup, and I already was doing makeup heavily for a lot of people. And I was already kind of doing hair too, just out of like a kitchen and shit. And Sally's was my favorite place.
Yeah.
But I never thought of turning it into a career. I'm not going to lie. That's not what I wanted to be. I never once, like, I guess I also didn't have a chance to sit down and really think, hey, Cheyenne, what do you want to do? It was always like, dude, you have to do something. Like, if you fall, your kids fall. And there's no fucking way that's happening. Not in my fucking house. I promise you, I will go do whatever I need to fucking do. I will fucking be Pablo Escobar if I need to for my kids. I swear to God.
It's funny when
you
your
do what you got to do.
Hell yeah.
And I will do what I got to do to make sure my kids are 100% done and good. So basically, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to school for makeup. I got this. Like, I'm already good at makeup. It'll be easy. I know a bunch of people went for like 4 months. Mind you, I did not have family or anything. So I'm like 17. I'm 18 at this point. And I had no idea how to do FAFSA, no idea how to do anything. When I went to school for medical assisting and phlebotomy, I used their like in-home or their like in-home financing or whatever it was. So she kind of walked me through it, which she fucked me over anyways.
Oh, no.
So I love that for me. Still paying off those loans. But I went to school and I went to TCAT in Clarksville, and I remember walking in there and I was just like, hey, I want to do makeup. And the girl looked at me and she's like, cosmetology, that's where you do makeup. She lied. It's esthetician work is what I was looking for. But my FAFSA was 100% covered, and because I was a single mom, it paid the $8,000 and it paid me to go to school another like $6,000 or something. So that kind of held over, and I was dancing at the time, and I was working at like a massage parlor where I would just like massage people in lingerie. So I was making good, like decent money. And I ended up just sticking with it. I was like, dude, if I stop going to school right now, because it was hair, I didn't want to do hair. I'm going to be honest. There was nothing, not a part of me wanted to professionally do hair. I wanted to do makeup and travel and be a celebrity makeup artist and this, that, and the other. But hair kind of found its way to me, I feel like. Like, when I really think back into it, I'm just like, wow, I am actually goat as fuck with hair. I love doing it now. It's like, when I get into it, my brain it goes away. I don't think about what's on my phone or who's doing this or what I'm eating for dinner. I'm literally just free. It's like a blank space. Everything's blank again. And I think that's my favorite place to be sometimes, just because there's so much going on, you know?
Yeah.
But it was genuinely my kids. I think that was what motivated me to do what I got to do. And then like, I just fell in love with the passion. And honestly, my biggest thing was like moving to Nashville. Like I don't think I would have been given the opportunities that I've been given had I not moved to Nashville from Clarksville. You know, went from like that small town living, being like yeehaw mom. I was never a yeehaw mom. Let's be fucking for real. I've always been feral. But yeah, it was my kids. Like, as cliche as that fucking sounds, like I would probably still be dancing somewhere if it wasn't for my babies. I would probably still be trying to make some quick ass money somewhere if it wasn't for them. And I do think like I owe them everything under the sun. I would do anything for them at this point. And that's honestly my saving grace was like when I was pregnant with Madison, I genuinely did not want to live. Like, I mean that wholeheartedly. And I found out I was pregnant. And there was a small part of me that was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to have a fucking abortion. I'm 16. I don't want to live. I'm not in a good situation. I can't have a baby. But by the time at the end of that pregnancy, by 9 months, I had my own house, my own car, my license, forged paperwork for my GED, all within 9 months. So if you want to do something, you can fucking do it. Like, you don't need to wait for the perfect time or this or that. Because I don't think having a kid at 16 was perfect fucking time. I don't think anybody would think. Like, let's be fucking for real. But I think it's exactly what I needed at the time to be like, Cheyenne, you're literally going to die. And I mean that. Like, I genuinely think if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have made it past 18, 19, to be honest, with the crowd I was swinging with and the things I was doing. And I mean, shit got kind of wild. I'm not going to say it on camera, but shit got wild.
Yeah. And so you're talking about that. I think it's so cool because people are like, why are you doing this podcast? And we're not trying to do a podcast to get famous or get deals. For us, it's more about documenting who we talk to, our friends and all that. So later on, our girls will be able to find this stuff and be like, wow, mom and dad knew some dope people.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
And
I love that.
Like, that's the whole reason we're doing this whole thing. But like, your kids, somehow, if anything happened to us, I know our girls, if they found this, they would find like, look, your mom
look
has
at
this.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You saved her life. Like, I'm just like, I think that's so cool.
Dude, they did.
But
like, I mean that so much. Like, I cry thinking about it because everybody's just like, for the most part, people look at me now and I always get this, like, from everybody. They're just like, you know, I thought you were going to be a stuck-up bitch, or I thought you weren't going to be funny. I thought you were going to be boring, or this and that. And I hear that so much, and that's so crazy to me because I know me, and I know I'm the opposite. But because you put a pretty face on it, everybody's just like, oh, another pretty face. She's got to be boring. Oh, another OnlyFans girl. Oh, another makeup artist. Another, you know. So they just automatically label you, which is so wild to me, which, like, they're not wrong. I've met plenty of pretty girls that are boring. We see it every day. But it's wild because people put this dilemma on me of like, oh, she must have been raised in such a great home and she must have had money given to her and this and that. Oh, Cheyenne goes on trips all the time. Cheyenne does this. But I genuinely worked my fucking ass off to get to where I am, and like will continue to work my ass off to get to where I'm going because it's not done now and we're just getting started. Honestly, like, this shit's just starting.
So real quick, so if there is someone watching, or if we put a little blurb on Instagram, how do people get in touch with you if they want to book you for? So I know you have the salon,
right?
And you do hair and makeup. So what's the best way for people to like reach out to you and be like, hey, I need some makeup done, or I need my hair done?
Instagram at Creations by Chey. That's the easiest way to reach me. I check it every day, maybe a few hours before I can get back to you, just because I am busy. But for the most part, like, easy peasy lemon squeezy, easy to find me. If you feel like I'm taking too long, you can easily go and utilize the booking app, like book for some stuff, you know.
Because you were getting your hair done there. I remember. So we had someone else do your hair. Remember before we went to Hawaii, and then we're like, can you do your hair? I don't know why it took her so long for us to have her do your hair.
I don't know. Well, we had just it's weird because we've only known you for like
a little over
over a year.
Oh yeah,
I know.
So that's why.
I know.
Oh, it feels like I've known you so much.
It does not feel like that. That's why someone else did my hair, is because I think we had we were either about to meet you or we had just met you.
Wow.
I know. It's only been a year.
So you're doing hair and makeup, and you said it's not over yet. What's your like perfect world? Like when you can say, you know what, I've made it. What would that look like for you? You know what I'm saying? With would it be doing hair and makeup Like, what's the end goal, I guess?
The end goal is to not work. That's always the end goal.
I disagree with you because I can't see you not working. Like, you're too.
Well, I want to be
like,
a pilot, so I would just be in the air all the time.
pilot.
I would love to fly planes. I love being in the sky. That's in a perfect world. I would be doing what I'm doing now. It would be more of like traveling. I love to travel, so if I can incorporate travel with hair and makeup more, which I'm doing a lot more of now.
Well, you could be flying.
Flying yourself
I would
to
literally just fly myself places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that would be my perfect world. I love doing hair and makeup. It's not a career to me. It's a hobby. It's fun to me. I get to create all day. That shit's fun. Like, I don't know. I love that. So if I could do that and fly myself somewhere,
It's funny because
shit, it's OV for you hoes.
Right? Earlier I was going to say,
and
it's
then
funny.
to me, I'm like, it's the hustle again. I'm just like, bro, if like what?
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't see you not working.
I would. I don't think I can ever not work.
Yep.
I'm always gonna be doing something. Always. I think. But yeah, I think in a perfect world though, I do want to be like more relaxed and chilled out by the time I'm 35-ish, somewhere around
35.
There. Yeah, bro.
That's
I've been
old.
working since I was like 14. I
Heather-
don't want to do this shit no more.
Heather's 35.
Earlier, I was going to say, when you were talking about, just your story, it seemed to me like your situation has always been fight or flight, heavier on the fight side, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
And so when you're like, I want to be in the air, I'm like, literally, we can
Fight or
name
flight.
this podcast Fight or Flight, or this episode Fight or Flight.
That's actually dope.
Yeah.
love
That's actually really
that.
dope.
I
Man,
love that.
That's dope. That's dope.
But yeah, I've always I love the air. It's another freeing place for me. I think like when I am in planes, when I'm just in the sky in general, when I'm high up in the mountains and I'm like in the clouds, it's like the one other place that I'm just like, wow, this is like look around. We're not stuck in this little fucking box that everybody puts us in, and there's so much more. And like nothing is out of reach. And that's kind of like what I think when I'm in bigger spaces, when I'm in the air and you can see everything, when I'm in the ocean you can see everything, and you're just like, wow, I am this small tiny person in such a big world with endless possibilities. And that's kind of how I go upon life. Like, I'm delusional as fuck. I would never call me sane, and I don't know that I would even look at me and be like an inspiration, because I've done some shady shit like everybody else. I've been through the ringer just like everybody else, but I also don't compare my story to anybody. I think everybody goes through shit, and I don't think my shit is any harder than the next, even if they grew up in something great or not. I think it all just boils down to your mentality. Like, how mentally tough are you? I know my mentality is very tough. I know I can handle some shit, but I also know people who have been through like really not shit that can't take it,
Yeah.
And that's like all with like how you grasp. And like you said, it's been like fight or flight my whole life almost. So it's been easy for me to fight. And I'm just now, like, for the first time in my life, in the weirdest way, kind of not fighting shit. Like, it's finally just kind of like letting everything settle and just like being able to be, because I feel like I've always had this like masculine like mentality, like I need to take care of everything, I need to be in control of everything, I need to have everything in my grasp. And now it's finally to a point where like there's so much healing and there's so much that I've done over the past 15 years 10-15 years, that none of it really matters. And like I'm so ready to just be in my feminine divinity and just like allow the universe to do whatever it needs to do and just put trust in whatever it is, because genuinely, I don't want to be in fight and flight anymore. I'm done.
I love that. I love that.
We're done.
That it reminds me of the saying that I heard recently, where it's, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you.
100%. Yeah.
And so I think we just all have that mentality. Like, you use all the
what
bad
you
shit
have,
that you whatever it makes you, and then you go with it.
Yeah. Bro, even our marriage. Remember the church we got married at, the pastor of that church.
I thought you were an atheist.
Oh hell, here you go, Muslim.
You're not Jewish?
Hey, you probably peeking out the mic. No, but we got married, and there was some stuff there. We should do a podcast on this, an episode on it. But he said your marriage is gonna be cursed,
What?
This is a pastor of a church. And
Was he racist?
He's 19 at the time. She's 19. How old was I?
22.
Yeah. So we're young. And they're like, your marriage is going to be cursed. Like, why would you ever say that?
Was it in the South?
No, it was up north. And the reason why, there was, we'll do an episode on it. But it was I think we hurt his feelings, you know.
Why?
We didn't have him marry us. That was the first thing. We brought in one of my really good friends' dads to marry us. I think that was kind of offended him. But anyways, all that to say is, I can't remember why I brought that up. Fight or flight. Oh, using stuff to your advantage. So like, I've always in the back of my head been like, bro, I'm gonna make sure our marriage is dope,
successful as fuck. Yeah, actually, the coolest marriage ever alive.
And now people are like, how do you guys work together 24/7? Like, I'm like, bro. What? Why would you not want to?
Well, that's
like,
your best friend.
I think that.
Why wouldn't you want to hang out with your best friend every single day?
Right.
Because even when you guys have nothing to talk about, it's still cool vibing with your best friend.
Right.
Like, what? Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to you. So how long have you been doing hair and makeup?
So I've been doing almost 5 years here in Nashville. That was when I graduated. Hair school was 2019, I believe.
Bro, I don't understand
2018.
I don't understand why you're not bigger than what you are. Like, it
Because
really.
I'm a lazy piece of shit, you guys.
Okay, so she tells that whole story, then says she's lazy.
Thing about that, and then
I'm not good at marketing. That's what it is.
Listen,
I don't have. It's because I need an assistant. I need to take some stuff off my plate so I can really like further everything, and I know that it's taking that leap and trusting somebody with stuff. That's genuinely like my biggest thing. Like, everybody's always like, you need an assistant. Okay, well, assistants need passwords to everything, and like, what if something, and that's my trauma talking, let me tell you, because I don't want them to go snooping through my stuff, or like, what if they, you know, like, that's like me letting go of control and handing it over to somebody else is very hard for me, because like I said, I've lived my whole life having to be in control of myself. So being able to be like, hey, here's the passwords to all my social medias, and here's the passwords to my Virago, and here's the passwords to my booking sites, can you make sure everything's answered in this and this and this? What if they miss things, and then I'm gonna get pissed off,
It looks bad on you,
and then it looks bad on me as well, and I am nervous for that, but I know the second that I do find somebody to be a really good assistant that's going to come in and really help me take that load off, like, I know shit's about to be
even a virtual assistant. We work with some clients and they have virtual assistants. It's interesting because we have to like and we've worked with some and they're actually really good. I was gonna say something. We need to help her marketing stuff. Yeah, like, because we do that stuff, you know. So why have we not helped you? Like, why?
Well, we always set up times and dates for things, but then we're always busy.
Okay, listen.
We haven't made it a priority.
Yeah, we haven't made it a priority.
Yeah, that's a big thing with me, because like, people are like, I don't have enough time. I hate when people say that. I'm so busy. I'm like, you have enough time. Your priorities.
Where do you want your priorities to be?
Like,
exactly.
I even do that with our girls. They're like, hey, daddy, can we do this? I can't say, hey, I don't have time to do that. What I have to say is like, okay, this isn't a priority right now. Like, in your head, if you think that, it's like, wow, you're saying your kids aren't a priority. So whatever you're doing, is it really more important than what your kids are asking you to do right now?
Right.
Like, when you start putting stuff in perspective like that, you're like, oh wait, I can find time to do this. You know? Because, bro, I always use this example. Let's say you have the most important meeting of your life. You're in there killing. All of a sudden you get diarrhea and you have to use the bathroom. You're gonna make time to go use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you don't have any time, but I bet you go hit that bathroom. Sorry, I think that's just my
shit. I mean, made shit,
bro. This is off the subject. Kevin Hart said he took a dump on himself during one of his shows.
Yeah.
During one of his shows.
Yeah, he showed it. He's funny as hell.
That's funny. Okay, so what was I asking you? How long you been doing makeup? You said 5 years. We had this conversation once, and
I think I got more into makeup about 1.5 years ago, though, to where I took it serious. I think the first 3.5, 4 years were mainly focused on hair and like, how do I get better at this? How do I learn this? How do you learn this? And once I got kind of bored, I was like, this is getting stagnant. Like, I think I'll pick up makeup again, because I was already doing it for myself and my friends. And I already know I'm good at what I do. And it was just easy. And then one day I just started posting that, like, hey, if you guys need your makeup done, come. And it just kind of popped off. And then you guys were one of the bigger companies to reach out to me and be like, hey, I'd love for you to come and work. can you do this little trial run? And I was like, dude, of course. Like, as soon as I walked in here, well, one, I thought I was gonna get murdered.
Listen, don't say that on here. Don't say that.
I have told people that story.
So
like, listen.
we set it up to where people, because we don't want people knowing what's in here. So the outside, you'd never know.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
And I love
it's
that.
like Nashville. Like there's so many multi-billion-dollar studios that you'd think was a crack house.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I already most of these recording studios that I've been in recently look literally like they came straight from Compton.
Yeah.
Literally crackhead alley. And you go inside and you're like, yo, what in the millionaires are fucking going on? Like, what the fuck?
Right?
But I do remember my dad always saying growing up, like, our house looked normal from the outside. Always just like your normal suburbs type shit.
Yeah.
But inside, like, we had a recording studio and dirt bikes and ATVs and barbecues and like all these crazy shit that my dad would spend stupid money on. And I would always be like, okay, well then why can't you put flowers outside, or why can't we plant trees, or why can't we do this? And he'd be like, because I want to look poor to everybody.
Yeah.
And you want everybody to think you're poor.
Right.
So that's why I don't tell nobody what I make. I don't talk about nothing. If people ask me or are like, you're doing, like, I hate when people bring up money, period. I won't talk about it.
Yeah.
And if they ever are being like where I'm from, I go back from time to time, my hometown. And the last time I was there, I remember just kind of like casually being like, you know, I do well for myself, you know, like I take care of myself. And this girl wanted to gloat and she was like, dude, you're doing so fucking good, blah, 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 blah. And I immediately like kind of had to shut down. I was like, no. Like, you need to chill the fuck out, bitch. I'm poor. Tell everybody here in this crackhead town I'm poor. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
And I honestly don't like that mentality. I always really try to stay humble to myself, and I try to stay humble. I could have bazillion dollars and still want to help out everybody else. And I would still not let a single fucking person know that I have $100 million. Like, there's no way. And I think that's the way to live. Like,
right.
Yep.
It is what it is, you know?
Yep. We're the same way. I feel like
people. The thing is too is that people are going to judge you for good or bad, no matter what. So why is it necessary to give them another reason to?
And I have nothing to prove to anyone because I don't care what you think. As long as
me too. That's my problem half the time. I really don't care.
Yeah, as long as everything's going good in our four walls, like I'm fine. Because we do the boudoir stuff and like we get crap. Like people used to message her and be like, "Did you know Eugene's taking this picture?"
I'm like, yeah, I was there.
You know, like, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like,
we saw her whole nipple.
Right.
She had pancakes.
Right.
No, but it's just like, people are always going to try to say something like, as long as stuff in our four walls is good, I don't care about what anyone else thinks. And for a while, it bugged us, I feel like.
Well, in the beginning, it was like just people who, like, from our past, we had lost friends.
Yeah, because of the whole church.
Lost friends, you know.
And then they were never your real friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know how many friends I've lost during my path of everything I've gone through? It's almost like a lot of people wanted me to stay down. It was so fucking wild. I remember having best friends, bro. I thought we were never going to fall out. I got in trouble with these people. They were there throughout all my teenage years. And when I started advancing in life and being like, yo, this isn't enough. And that's what I genuinely tell myself every day is I'm like, as hard as it sounds, I genuinely am like, you're not doing enough.
Yep.
Every day I'm like, you're not doing enough, Cheyenne. You're not fucking doing, like, sometimes I even go to the extent of being like, you're a fucking loser. You should do this and this and this. Don't do that to yourselves. Yeah. But like the tough love works for me. It's how I've maneuvered my brain to work. But like I genuinely, back to like where my friends are, like I genuinely, their mindsets always stayed in that like 16-year-old range. So now they're like 4 or 5, 6 kids deep, still doing the same thing. And I'm, you know, like living a mediocre, nice, decent life, and like did it for myself. And it, like, bro, they hate me. They fucking hate me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
and I'm like, for what? Like,
Yeah.
I did nothing. I didn't end up in jail. I didn't do Xanax. I never did drugs like that. Like, besides blow, trying to go to school and like maneuver. Like, I genuinely was like a good little apple seed, just kind of surviving. And that's where I give myself a lot of grace. Is like, Cheyenne, like you were surviving. You weren't like a bad kid. And I think had I had opportunities that like normal children had, bro, I probably would have went to Harvard. I'm gonna be cocky as fuck. I'm smart as shit.
I believe
Yeah.
you.
Like I genuinely think I
Yeah.
would have went to like I probably would have went to fashion school. I probably would have went to New
Yeah.
York. You know, there was a lot, but I don't ever dwell on shit like that because it didn't happen.
Right.
And my life is good now, and I'm very grateful that everything happened the way it did. Because back to my kids, bro. If my dad didn't die, if I did not go through everything that I had went through, if I did not meet my baby daddy and go through all the physical, mental abuse that we went through, I wouldn't have 2 kids.
Right.
That literally saved my life. And I genuinely, the money that I make now is because of them. The house that I have is because of them. The car that I drive, that's because of them. Like everything is for them, 100%. And I'd probably still be like a shitty 25-year-old party girl. Woo! National girls. Probably not. That's actually fucking lame. I could never imagine me being like that.
Do you think you'll send
That's
your
for the
kids to
tourists.
college?
If they want to, they have college funds. They'll have the money available for when they want to go. But is college like a necessity for me? No, I think college is fucking lame, and I think it's a waste of fucking money. If you ask me, unless you absolutely need something to get somewhere in life. Like I worked in like literally nursing. They never once asked me for any of my certifications. None of my licensures, nothing. I've worked in hair for 5 years. I have never had to show my license.
It's
you see
it's
what
all,
I mean, bro? I'm about to start lying and
Yeah.
going and saying I'm working on Wall Street. I swear to
Right?
God, I will be the next Wall Street Miss Ma'am.
But I'm
It's
telling
like
you,
the principle of it. Like people get the money, and then it's just the principle of.
but I'm telling you, it's about if you're a good hanger or not. Nowadays, like if you can
chill and vibe, like you're solid,
yeah.
you can get in anywhere. And I
Exactly.
genuinely do believe that. Like it all comes down to personality. You want to know
Yep.
why there's so many people out here that I know that have so much fucking potential to get somewhere, and there's such dickhead, asshole, loser ass vibes, low energy vibes, think they're better than everybody ass vibes, and that's why they're still fucking low. And I really don't care. Or the people that think social media is the only form of reality.
Bro.
That's fucking insanity to
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
You want to know why I'm not as big as what I probably should be? It's because I don't care about social media. I've never once cared about social media. What I post is genuinely just for me. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. I don't want to be famous, and I tell everybody that. And I know a lot of people, you guys or some of them are like, yo, why aren't you famous? Like you just don't want to be famous. No, I genuinely don't. Like if I get famous one day from doing whatever the fuck I'm doing, like great, congratulations, it was meant to be. But I'm here for the money.
Yeah, and I'm not saying okay, why are you not famous? I just feel like your account, everyone should know you. Like I feel like I should go and anyone in our industry, I should be like, hey, should I do the makeup on this or not? Wait, I don't like when people don't know who you are. It annoys me.
I know.
That's what I mean by why you're not bigger.
Yeah.
But back to social media, we've recently started unfollowing a ton of people.
Yeah.
And because I feel like sometimes we're influenced by stuff we see on Instagram,
same.
or like maybe I won't post this because what was such. So we've gone through and started unfollowing a ton of people. And now it's not a get on Instagram and scroll and see what people are doing. It's more get on Instagram, post something, and then we're done. Because there's no one on there we want to follow to see what they're doing. So we just post and we're out.
Right.
So and I've loved it so far.
Well, before I didn't even I was more on Facebook, you know, family, friends, and then stuff like that. The business group we have on there and stuff. But Instagram, when I was following all these people, it was like a mood killer. It was like a creativity killer, you know? And we've talked about that before because we would see stuff and be like, oh man, it wouldn't be like in an inspirational way. It'd be like, why can't I create that? Or why can't I do it like that?
Yeah.
See, that's how I felt.
Start comparing.
Yeah.
That's
And
how I
you're
felt
so
with
far away
modeling
from me.
in
I know, I'm over
general.
here on my mic.
You're like so far away. I don't like it. Like they're married.
I'm like
They're
sitting
married.
away
They
from
look
you,
like they
too.
hate each other. Actually,
I'm really not a part of
You're
this
about to talk about
conversation.
modeling. So let's get into that really quick because we've been going for like an hour. It's been an hour and 4 minutes. Isn't that crazy how we can have a conversation and
what
just
the
go?
fuck?
So you started doing OnlyFans.
right?
Are you liking that? Like,
I think it's okay. It's mediocre. Really, my problem is I don't need the money, so I don't take it as seriously as what a lot of people probably would. I think I would blow up if I actually took it serious. So,
but modeling, I feel like you've been shooting a lot of dope stuff, right?
I have. Yeah, my modeling has been taking off. Yeah,
really quick. I have unfollowed a ton of people.
Right.
So even some of the photographers I feel like we both follow and you may work with, I've unfollowed some of them too. So I'm sure I've missed some stuff.
Yeah.
The one I still am following is Childish.
I love
I follow him. He's coming on the podcast.
Oh, is he?
He's
That's my
coming on the
boy.
podcast.
I just did something with him for Adore Me, actually.
Is that the one? Because I remember seeing something.
It's
it was
the
a
red
pink,
one.
Red. Okay, red.
Yeah, wearing
Okay.
a pink corset.
I don't know. I just remember seeing something pink.
All right. But yeah,
sounds weird.
that was him. We just recently shot that for Adore Me because he's an ambassador
Yeah, I
over
saw
there.
that. That's dope.
So
I'm about to bro, get us on there.
I love him so much. He's been a really great guy. I've known him for years. I think the first time I actually worked with him was for my daughter when my daughter did modeling when she was 3, and I needed some headshots and some modeling, and he always appealed to me. I had followed him for probably like 2-3 years prior to that. He had done some work with friends, and I just always admired his work. And then I met him with my daughter that one time. He shot some cold work. I had done hair for him a few times after that, and then I got into modeling, and he reached out and was like, yo, I got some good ideas, blah blah blah. And we've just been working and vibing together since, and created like a cool relationship where it's like
that.
if he needs something, I'm there, vice versa. I can probably hit him up and be like, yo, you trying to shoot here? I think I'm actually shooting with him tomorrow afternoon, actually.
Yeah.
It's so funny how small Nashville is because we knew him before we met you.
Damn. And he's a Clarksville guy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's such a trip.
There are a lot of people in Clarksville.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because I left and right, people are like, oh, Clarksville, and I'm like,
But they still say
really?
Nashville. They still say
Yeah,
Nashville. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about getting him on here. He seems so dope. Like,
He's so dope.
Didn't he just have a kid? I think
He just had a
So,
daughter.
like,
Yeah.
That's how I saw it because I followed him from the Speechless account.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, he's having a kid. He's about to be in that dad, and he has a girl too. So I was like, he's in there with my personal. I was like, I'm following him for my personal now, and I messaged him like, bro, you're gonna be a dad. Like, it's the best thing in life. And like, I feel like we connected more over that than photos
and everything else. Yeah. He's super dope.
Yeah.
You're gonna love him.
So, what's so far in 2023? I'm saying that because I know if it was 2022, you'd pick something that we've done with you. But what's your favorite project?
Shut up.
Because we haven't worked this year at all, really. I mean,
Right.
you've done makeup, but I haven't shot you.
I know.
like-
we haven't
so
shot in a while.
What's something that you're most proud of?
that I've done this year? Honestly, like I have cooler things coming up that I don't want to talk about yet.
No, okay, so what are you most excited about?
I'm getting like a lot of offers to fly out to LA and meet with
Nice.
some managements out there for modeling. So that's
That's
actually
dope.
really sick.
Can you
and
get you a
excited to leave
GoPro?
us.
Please get you a GoPro and
I-
document that whole.
I will. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
get more into vlogging and I think I'm gonna restart a new TikTok just for my personal life.
Bro, really?
Oh
they
my
might
god! Somebody
they
came up
may
to me
ban-
and saw me.
They may ban TikTok. Have you seen that? It's like a bill that's in.
Oh, if
They're
they do
voting
that,
on-
that's
yeah.
bullshit. But somebody saw me in public and was like, "Oh my god, my daughter loves you. She's seen you on TikTok." And I was like, at fucking Opryland or something, and she was
Wow.
asking about my tattoos. It was just like the most pure feeling. I was just like,
Yeah.
wait, ooh, what? Like, I'm such a normal ass person to me that like when
You're
I
anything but normal. I don't think you understand how like
Yeah.
not.
This is one of those
and-
things again where you think
like in a
you're
good
this
way. Yeah.
and people see this.
Yeah.
You
am I
know?
autistic?
No,
Oh, okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so that was like a really cool feeling. So I have like some stuff coming up where I need to be meeting with some agencies out in LA, see where that goes. I'm not
Yeah.
100% if I want to sign to anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Only because I really like the freedom that I have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did get offered to come out to Miami and walk for swim week. So
That's
that's
dope.
pretty
Oh,
sick. So I've been
yeah.
training so hard just in the gym all the time. I'm just really
So you are
trying-
going to do the Miami thing? You think?
I don't know 100% yet.
You're in the stage of like stay ready, so I have to get ready.
Yeah.
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 So we're just gonna see.
That's
we're
cool
just
though.
gonna see.
That's so exciting.
What's happens. And I'm just gonna let things keep happening.
Right.
I know I have so many photographers reaching out to work, and that's so amazing. Because I genuinely, you got to think, a year ago I was in a relationship where
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to.
I wasn't
remember
allowed
that.
to. I wasn't allowed to dress the way I dress. I wasn't allowed to create the way I create. I could barely even talk the way I talk. I would be shunned by this man for saying things. And then like my brain just says things, and you guys know that about me. And I don't think about it first until after. And sometimes, yeah, it's out of pocket and I probably shouldn't. But also like that's just who I am as a person. Like I'm not gonna keep apologizing to people for my
Right.
words. And like if that offends you, I'm so fucking sorry that you're shallow ass bitch. I don't know what to tell you. So like I was in a mindset when I started this about a year ago that I was like fat and worthless, and like there was no way anybody would even look at me like that. You know, it was genuinely like in my brain that like you did not look good. Nobody fucks with
It's
you like
crazy.
that. Like because I was with the wrong person. Somebody who had that like I don't even know how to describe it without being like a dickhead, but like very white mentality where it's like so everybody he was surrounded with was also that mentality and like his family and everything like that. And I genuinely, like I had told you guys, I didn't really ever feel welcomed from his family for all those years too. And it was just me trying to keep up with the Joneses, like prove something to them that, you know, I can be this blonde haired Nashville girl that's not like, but I tried to be something.
Yeah.
Bro, so the thing about
I
Chey
could
is
never.
by the time you watch this episode, her hair will probably be a different color.
It probably will be.
Chey, because I think that's dope that you do your own hair, because like you do hair for a living. Because it's always interesting seeing like when people do their own things, like how they end up, you know. So.
Oh yeah, I'm manic as fuck. Every 2 months, man. Let me tell you, there's a new color every 2 months. There's a new something coming up every 2 months.
Right? Like we have known you for a year and we've probably seen like all the colors.
All the colors. Yeah. All of them.
You were saying that so photographers are hitting you up a lot to shoot. Can I give you my advice?
Yeah.
I think you need to start charging people to shoot you. That's the first thing.
I do.
Good. And it needs to be a lot. Not like, hey, $100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because I think unless they're, you know what I'm saying, like
the homies and trying to do something creative.
Not even that, like childish, like people that are dope. If they're not creating dope stuff and they're just trying to get you in there, bro, charge them.
Yeah,
easily.
I've gotten to the point now in like the most humble way that if your work doesn't immediately scream like, oh my God, I want to work with you, I'm not working with you, period, unless you're paying me.
Yeah.
And there's been multiple times where I've been like, you know, my starting fee is $1,000 for the day. And that's genuinely where I start with photographers I don't want to work with. Like, because time is money. And to me is I can go to work and do hair and makeup all day for 6 to 8 hours and make $1,000. Why the fuck would I come and work with somebody that I'm not even really big about?
Right.
Never use this work. Waste a whole day for what? Nothing? No, there needs to be money involved. But there is plenty of other photographers that I'm like, yo, this is so sick. This would be great for my portfolio. This would be great for your portfolio. We're both getting something out of it. Let's shoot. Now,
and also, I'll tell you this too is we are trying to get better at supporting our friends. You know what I'm saying? So like, honestly, if we end up like in a situation where like, hey, you know, we have a lot of extra money, I'd be like, hey, Chey, let's shoot this. Here's some money. Like, I feel like friends should always support friends' business.
I'm so quick to support my friends.
I hate when friends come and say, hey, can you give me a discount? And you've been doing Heather's hair. I don't know how long now, but
at least
not once have we. And you've offered to do it for free, but I'm not that.
I know. You guys are literally
we're like,
angels.
because I hate when people do that to us, you know? Yeah. We will probably always be your biggest cheerleaders.
I know. You guys are great, for real. Yeah. I love that. Like, when I speak about you guys, I'm genuinely like, these are family. Like, you guys don't even understand. Like, and I think it kind of freaks people out sometimes when I'm like, oh, Eugene and Heather, you know, they're boudoir people, this and that. Because they're like, oh my God, are they fucking swingers? But really, I'm just like, it's like mom and dad. It's like big brother and big sister. Like, when I'm speaking to you guys, it's like cackles and jokes 90% of the time. And I think my favorite thing is the fact that I can come in here and work and look at you guys. And we don't have to say shit. And we know exactly what the fuck we're all thinking. Like, immediately.
Do we need to order some coffee? Or?
Don't give our codes away. Don't give our codes away. Hey, you know what else? It's funny because you know us from Speechless and the boudoir stuff. A lot of people don't realize that we do video like hardcore. We're working on like a little show now for this guy. He hired us to do a show about vehicles and their stories. So like we have some dope stuff we're shooting. Yeah. And I feel like we're bad about. I tell you like, why are you not bigger than what you are? But if you go look at our Instagram,
because I forget that you're a videographer and I need a reality TV show ASAP. Thank you.
No, but like if you look at our Instagram right now, we don't have hardly any followers, and we don't show our work on our personal Instagram. People don't know because we don't put that out there. I think I'm gonna try to get better at doing that this year. I think we really need to.
Well, I think it's easy for us because we give over the content. We hand it over to people and let them do their thing. And then for some reason in our minds, we're like, that's good enough. It's out there. Yeah. Like, no,
it's also to get it out.
Yeah.
So we like, because you say that, because like you introduce us and as like these boudoir photographers. I'm like, bro, that was so like a
Yeah, for a while he didn't like the way that sounded.
Yeah, I hate that.
Because someone would say, "Oh, well, you're a photographer," and then
Like,
he'd be
no,
like,
I'm not.
"I'm not a
We do
videography
I'm like,
too.
but you are.
I know.
It's just
It bugged me so bad
we're
for a while.
filmmakers first.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it will
Okay.
always be that way. But it's not a bad thing.
No,
to
it's
be called
not,
a
because we're dope.
photographer.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Oh, this is what I want to ask you about. We had this conversation once about you saying you're going to try to hide your products because you don't want people to come in and like bite what you're doing and try to go and do their own
Right.
thing.
And
like,
it's not so much like hiding the product itself, but it has happened before where I'm very open with showing my routine to like people that come, people that I work with multiple times, telling them what I'm using, this, that, and the other. Well, after so many times of getting the routine, 2-3 times of getting your makeup done, seeing the product I'm using, you pretty much can basically do your own makeup, and that takes away from my job as well. So it's not so much that I'm trying to be like a gatekeeping asshole, because I'm really not. If you ask me what I'm using, I will always tell you. Always. It's more of the fact of like, hey, you don't need to know unless you ask. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
it's more of that aspect. It's really
about the approach. Like, how are you going to do this? Are you going to, like, you're open to telling people.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
I will be offering classes though for those that really, really want to learn. And I think that would be a better idea than, like I said, being able to show people what I'm doing, what I'm using, and then them taking that home, running with it. And then now, like, I'll do your makeup once a year when you really need something big. But other than that, you got your own because you already watched my routine a million times over,
Heather, you should learn how she does makeup. Then we don't have to hire anyone. We keep it all in the family.
It's not a priority in my life.
No, but listen, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You could give someone the exact makeup you're using. You can have a video of you doing makeup on someone. Still, they're not going to do it like you do. And the other thing, remember I said earlier, we've worked with dope makeup artists.
Right.
We work with some that are good. We work with some mediocre, and then some that suck.
I'm probably the sucky one.
No, I'd rather have a mediocre makeup artist with your personality than someone that's way better. I don't know anyone that's way better than you.
Thanks. I was gonna say, are you calling me mid?
Okay. No, but I'm just
Sure.
I'm just trying to prove a point that like
mid.
you have the whole thing. That's all I'm saying is you have the whole, like, you're dope at makeup.
The whole package.
Yeah. So someone can see your stuff. They're still not gonna be able to do shy.
Yeah.
But
That's
anyways.
because everyone kind of boring to me.
What's an experience you've had that most people wouldn't know you've had? And that's kind of hard because you did the whole, like, your whole
You're like,
childhood
where
experience.
do I start?
But like, what's an experience you've had that most people wouldn't know you had?
An experience that I had that most people probably wouldn't have known if I didn't tell people is that I was a stripper, definitely, for a while there. And, like, back to the massaging thing, like, I kept that a big secret for so long. Oh, my God, I have a bigger one, actually. Ooh, fuck the stripping, fuck the massaging. That's normal for all y'all. A big secret that I had is that when I left my baby daddy, and this is highly illegal, I wouldn't do it, but, like, do it if you want a bag. I left my baby daddy, and 2 weeks after I left him, and that was like an 8-year relationship, something like that, on and off, I married somebody in the Army that he hated because I wanted get back. So 2 weeks later, I got married to this guy named Josh. And we went to a courthouse, got married, and then on that day, me and my homegirl Caitlin ended up driving to North Dakota and chilling. And he was like, "Wait, we're not gonna get food?" And I was like, "No, I gotta go to North Dakota." And he was like, "We just got married, like, just now." And I was like, "Yeah, I got places to be, like, bye." And we stayed married for 2 years while he paid my rent, and we lived together as roommates. He had a girl, I was dating somebody, like, we literally were like best friends. He was in the Army, so he helped me out with everything. Had BAH, had like all that shit. Bitch, he was.
What did he get out of it?
He got off of the barracks. He got to live in a house that's not in the military. He's not in the military anymore. None of us can get in trouble, so I can tell the story. But yeah, I was married. I'm divorced now. And it was in my mind, it was a fake marriage, but I know on paper it was real. But like in my mind, we were best friends. Like he wanted to help me. I hated my baby daddy. I want to get back. He wanted to get off the barracks. Like, there was a lot. He would like watch my kids at night while I went to work to go and dance and
so he
work
played the part a little
He
bit.
played the part a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the homie. He really was saving grace. But I remember the day that we went into Navy Federal to sign our divorce papers because we didn't go to court or anything. We literally were like, thank you, handshake, done, dunsies, because we're homies.
Yeah.
I remember I took a video and I was like, divorce is finalized. And I probably had 300 messages from people being like, bitch, I did not know you were married. And I was like, I've been married for 2 years, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, so everyone watching, so answer me this.
Yeah.
I was going to say the guy, for people watching, are you single? What's your like status right now?
I'm like kind of seeing somebody. I would say I'm seeing somebody for sure. Like,
sorry, everyone.
Not single, sorry. My dude will run laughs on you bitches.
But yeah, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. We'll throw your stuff up so people can get in touch with you.
Yeah.
We're not knowing one, so no one will probably reach out to you, but we'll put it out there anyway.
Fuck up. Shut up.
Thanks so much.
Thank
we
you
gotta
for
find a
having
way
me.
to sign off on this thing. The girls are at the door.
That's how you end it?
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
how
want
the
your
girls
kid-
are at the door.
Hey, have a great night.
All right, see you guys.